Can I ask you a question? Do you love that feeling of when you get something done, you finally tick it off your task list and you feel fantastic? Yes, well so do I. So why do we procrastinate? How come so many of us spend so much time putting stuff off? Now of course there are all sorts of reasons, but having studied this quite a lot, I can say there are three core reasons that the majority of us put stuff off or procrastinate most of the time. Number one is we don't know how to do a thing, or we feel we don't know how to do it. Number two is we don't value what we're getting out of that process, doing that thing. Number three is we think it's got to be perfect, so I'd rather not do it than just do it to some degree or other. So let's look at how each of those work and how you might overcome them. As always, I suggest it's all about mindset. It's the way we think about these things. It's how we set them up in our heads before we go to do it. So the first one is I don't know how to do it. Well, let me ask you another question. Have you ever put off tackling a really challenging file or ringing a client who might be tricky, you think there's something wrong or whatever it might be, only to discover that when you do the thing, it's actually okay. The client's fine. The file, you flew through it, or at least you went through it a lot more quickly than you thought, and so you'd created this almost false reality in your mind that it was going to be much harder. And so you probably did know how to do the thing before you started the task, so you may be giving yourself a false clue. Now if you genuinely don't know how to do it, then follow these three simple rules. Do it, delegate it, or ditch it. So do it is either just get on with it, find out if you can do it, and if you don't know how, learn, get help. I've got YouTube, I mean stuff like this. There are millions of how-tos out there, so the chances are if you really want to learn how to do it and embrace that particular task, then you can find a resource. There is going to be some stuff, however, you're just never going to do. It's just not for you. There's a thing called Eat the Frog. There's a whole book written about it. Do you know what? The concept there, by the way, if you don't know it, is if you're going to have to eat a frog, just eat it in one go. Get on with it. Don't put it aside. Don't procrastinate. Now, I can tell you now, I'm never going to eat a frog one go or any other methodology. So there are some things I will delegate. But so often, just try it, realise you probably have the skill, or if you're never going to learn it, delegate it, put it to one side, or sometimes just ditch it. I mean, is there any real value in what you're doing? I mean, do you need to do it, or have you just created a false task because you want to feel busy? So just run that do it, delegate it, or ditch it process through whatever it is you're shying away from, and you'll probably find that helps you become more efficient. The second one about valuing it, well, this is a classic. Things we value often in business, for example, are a new client or someone paying an invoice, money coming into the business. These are all tangible things that we feel really good about. Again, doing what seems in our mind that our mindset has said is a less positive task, a less meaningful task, a less valuable task, we put that to one side. But the reality is that so many everyday tasks are hugely important. If you didn't do your expenses or didn't file your accounts, it's not making you any money, but boy, the consequences are huge. So when you're putting something off or procrastinating about a task, try and revalue it. Just think for a moment, what's that ultimately going to add in the overall pattern of your day, your life, or your business, and increase its value so that you create some really good mental time to taking on board that task. And here's another thing to think about. Every time you put it off or put it to one side, it means you've stored a reminder memory in here, and so 10 minutes later, 5 minutes later, an hour later, it's going to pop up and go, hey, you haven't done that thing, you know, and you're going to go, no, I haven't done that thing, and I'll get back to it later. And then 10 minutes later, half an hour later, a little voice is going to go, hey, you haven't done that thing. And you're going to spend so much time of your day sort of pushing to one side that I haven't done that thing voice, and probably feeling bad about it, and maybe even causing yourself stress, when if you'd only done the thing in the first place. So that's a great way to value it. Reframe what that's going to do for you to get it done right now. Now the third thing is a biggie about whether or not is it perfect the way I'm going to do this thing. And this is a classic example. I used to put off doing videos all the time because the light wasn't right, my hair wasn't correct, or whatever. And there was always an excuse as to why the moment isn't just so. We can adopt that so many times in life. When successful people are out there just getting on with it, they're doing a reasonable, if not good job, and creating things, making things happen. So while you're sat around waiting for it to be that perfect moment, it's got to be just so, someone else has gone out and got there before you. So don't make it perfect. I think it was General Patton once said, a good plan executed today is better than the perfect plan tomorrow. And that's so true. So the top 3 reasons most of the people I've ever met procrastinate are thinking they don't know how to do it when they probably do, or not taking time to learn that skill when they could learn it really quickly and just get on with stuff. Not valuing the task or action because it isn't up in their excitement value, so reframe it, make it more valuable and get it as part of your everyday stuff. Just get on with it. And finally, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you wait for the perfect moment, it'll have gone by so many times you'll probably miss it. There we go. Those are the top 3 reasons most of the people I meet procrastinate. I hope that gives you some food for thought. If you want to know more about who I am, what we do, my name is Marcus Tomlinson. I'm the founder of the Mindset Revolution, and you can find us online at www.themindsetrevolution.co.uk. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.